Hey, thanks for
Hey,
pressing play. Welcome to the Suns Jam Session Podcast on the BLEAV Podcast Network, sponsored by FanDuel. My name is John Voight, I'm managing editor of Bright Side of the Sun, and I'm joined, as always, by my podcasting partner, Matthew, senior developer writer at Bright Side of the Sun. I always forget your official title. What's your official title?
I have no idea. Is that what it is?
It's senior staff writer. I
I
can't.
just thought it was a staff writer. That was it.
No, you're
Is it
senior, bro.
I'm a senior. Oh wow, I
Yeah.
didn't know I was that old.
Yeah, you cover games in person, man. You're a senior staff writer. But welcome, everybody. It's been a while since both Matthew and I have been on the pod together. Change that intro just a little bit. We're going to do our normal intro, but do you recognize that music, Matthew?
Yeah, is that the first Jam Sessions pod? Is that really it?
That's the OG music.
I was only guessing that because it sounds very simple, and I'm like,
Yes.
maybe it was the first one you did.
Yes. Yeah, I in the process of brightsideofthesun.com, which just got a whole overhaul of the way that the layout exists on the site.
Looks good.
In the process of doing that, I kind of was just looking at old articles and pieces that we used to do. And it had our first podcast that we did, which was like our 16th, I think, overall podcast, where we're literally like reviewing week 16 of the 2019 season, which I thought was just funny. And I was like, you know what? I miss that simple music that we had once upon a time. So like, I'm going to bring that back a little bit and just kind of see how does it get up all in our feels? Matthew, did it get up all in your feels? Did it take you back to a simpler time when you weren't a senior staff writer?
No, I just kind of guessed it, so I didn't really have any attachment to it. Sorry, dude.
It's because
you?
I do, man. I made that shit. You know, I was like, oh, there it is.
Well, you have the attachment. I'm always like, oh, that sounds really nice, dude. You know, I wasn't in there in the studio, breaking it down with the drums and all that shit.
Dude, it was like me. It was like Dave Grohl making the first Foo Fighters album where he did every part. That was me in the basement. I'm like, okay, this is me on the beat machine. This is me on the drums. This is me with the synthesizer, just trying to put all that stuff together back in the garage days. But those days are long behind us. This is episode number 760 something. I don't even know what it is anymore. It's been quite some time. And we're slowly but surely starting to open the door towards the next season, towards 2025, 26. Summer's not over by any means. We still have 2 months until the Suns play meaningful basketball.
Yeah.
But the schedule was released today, and it's something that we're going to talk about here on the Suns Jam Session podcast. A reminder, if you haven't already, please subscribe, please rate, please review. And if you get a chance, stop by FanDuel and throw a little money down on the Suns over-under. And it's something we're going to talk about at the back end. 31.5 is their win total projected. We're going to take a look at this schedule today and see if that is something that is plausible, or if, no, the Suns are going to go blow past that, or they might not hit it. But make sure that, again, you do stop by FanDuel to do that. And just remember to bet responsibly and most of all, have fun with it. But pop them if you got them, Suns fans. I already popped mine, so I have to – it's Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, I almost did that, but I had a Bud Light in there, so it's good.
Oh, man. I just bought some Dos Equis. It's been a long time since I've had Dos Equis, and I'm looking forward to popping one of those open. And I just forgot to bring one in here because prior to this, I was building a bookshelf for my wife. So
really?
Yeah. Oh, it rotates and shit. It's like it's one of those things you open up the box, it's got 85 pieces, and you're like, great. And the one thing that I've noticed, how much stuff have you put together lately? Just stuff.
Oh, dude, I don't remember. I don't even know what's going on right now, honestly.
Well, I'll say they don't come with screws anymore. They're all hex screws, right? They all come with a little Allen wrench.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. Like I have a drill that has a Phillips head on it, so you can just make it nice and fast. They're like, no, we want you to slowly crank this. So I have to buy hex heads for my drill now. It's annoying.
Yeah. No, I have that too. I have a set of it because that's all you use now.
Yeah.
I kind of like it just because the screws do strip easily. So the hexes are a little bit better, but like you said, you have to go buy the attachments for it. But once you have those, you're good to go.
Do you have a hex screw, or do you have just like all the hexes?
I have a drill with like all the hexes, like them. Yeah, I have every size, but sometimes I don't have that size, so I have to go get another whole set with that size in it. So because it ends up under the couch somewhere lost, so I can't find it, and then I have to. I'm not well organized with the tools. I have a tool bag, and that's it. I don't have a tool box. It's like a bag for going to like sleepovers with your friends. It's filled with tools.
Where's the damn hex? Yeah, I actually just bought these. This is summertime talk, Suns fans. Yeah, we'll get to the schedule. Matthew and I don't talk unless it's on the podcast, even though
yeah.
I just bought these non-strip magnetic drill bits, or not drill bits, like screwdriver bits. And I really want to find a screw around my house because they exist, right? All over the place, strip screws. Because I buy the Ryobi shit and it just instantly frays anytime you try to use it. And I need to see if they actually work. But we'll try that after the podcast. Again, pop them if you got them, Suns fans. We're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns schedule and less Allen wrenches.
Session podcast, shooting the shit about the Suns since 2019.
All right, Matthew, it's your favorite podcast of the year, the one where we talk about the schedule. And I have a news flash for everybody out there. Yes, the Suns play every team in the Western Conference multiple times, and they play them more than the Eastern Conference. I guess I'll start by asking this question. What was your first reaction when you saw the Suns' schedule drop? What goes through Matthew Lissey's mind?
Well, to be honest, I don't care, really. I really don't. The one thing I care about is the opening day, and that's it. Who are they going to start against, and also when are they going to start? So that's the one thing I look for. Otherwise, there's a few games here or there, but overall, I'm not a big fan of it just because it is the same every year, and I kind of feel like the NBA is a little bit more predictable with teams than the NFL, because the NFL is like, oh, this is going to be a tough schedule this year. But then those teams that are tough last year sometimes suck. So then it's not as hard as you think going in. I feel like the Suns always, from now on in the West, have a tough schedule moving forward, no matter what.
Yeah, I'm kind of there with you. When you talk about other sports, especially football, right? When the football release day comes, there's variance in it because you don't play the same teams every year, right? The NBA schedule is very, very structured. You're going to play everybody in your division 4 times. You're going to play some people 5 times, especially if the in-season tournament has anything to do with it, or the NBA Cup. In the Eastern Conference, you're going to have a home and home. You're going to play Chicago once in Chicago. You're going to play Chicago once here. I think the thing that's most exciting, and again, I don't even like to use the word exciting, and I'm pissed off because I continue to use that word as I talk about the next season. For those who don't know, I'm doing Mondays now on Locked On Suns, and I have said it like 2 or 3 times, and I have to stop myself every time because I'm not excited about next season. I'm intrigued. But what's intriguing about next season is you take a look at it and you just try to identify patterns. You and I look at it through the lens of, okay, am I going to be spending New Year's Eve with the Cavaliers? Oh, looks like I am this year. What am I doing on Christmas? Sweet. I don't have to unbox a lump of Suns coal, so I'm a fan of that. But you just like to see the trends and identify areas of opportunity or areas where you think that this team is completely fucked. And I think that especially with the Suns this year, knowing what our expectations are going into this season, knowing that we're not really excited, it's one of those situations where it's like, yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot that is going to really get your blood pumping when you see that schedule drop. Now, I will ask you this question. Do you think that the schedule is favorable for Phoenix, or the league schedulers quietly trying to test them?
Well, what's weird is the back-to-backs, just the 16 that we are facing again this year, just like last year. It's a thing that Adam Silver, and I think this is going to be a podcast of more complaining on my end, because I always complain about the schedule. I really do. The 82 games is fine, but where it starts, where it ends, and then the NBA Cup and just to start the season is just a tough watch sometimes. I think that what the Suns are going to face with the 16 back-to-backs is obviously tied for the highest in the league. That's going to test them, but also they are a younger team now. But also, like, it's the same thing every year, right? Where it's like the back-to-backs suck. It's going to be a long-ass season. And then you have the old heads like EJ, not to call him an old head. I don't know if that's a bad term or not.
That old head.
I don't know if that's offensive or not, but the old guys are going to talk about these guys don't know what it's like back in the day. So we keep doing the same thing where it's like going to be an 82-game season. A lot of guys are going to sit out. back-to-backs, and then the old guys are going to say, hey, back in my day, we actually just rode the bus. So, I just don't want to hear about it this year, really.
Back
just
in my day, we played double headers. It's like 2 games in one night.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are watching the pod, I'll go ahead and I'll pull the actual schedule up so you can look at it in its entirety. Again, it's something that I do every season is I put together the schedule and throw it out there for you to enjoy and consume, if you will. But there are some notable things. You mentioned the back-to-backs, and I like the back-to-backs this year, Matthew, because of the reason that you stated that this is a young team. And we want to test them in every way possible. And I don't know if the NBA went out purposefully trying to test the Suns and saying, yeah, we're going to throw the most back-to-backs for any team to you. They didn't actively do that, right? But at the same time, and again, it's most back-to-backs. They're tied with multiple teams that have 16. I think the least amount that any team has is 13, and I think that's like the Timberwolves. But the most is the Suns, tied with multiple other teams. What is interesting is the fact that the Phoenix Suns have the second worst game differential on back-to-backs. And what that means is while they have 16 back-to-backs, they'll be playing teams that are coming off of back-to-backs, right? Having the second night of a back-to-back. And they're going to be doing that a total of, I'll pull up the graphic, 13 times. So they're a -3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
the only other team that has a worse team back-to-backs versus opponent back-to-backs ratio in the league is the Denver Nuggets. They play 16 back-to-backs. They're playing teams that only have 12 back-to-backs. So again, it's one of those situations where you look at it and you're like, man, the Suns got screwed. But also in the same breath, you go, this is a younger team. This isn't the old man Suns that we've been dealing with for the past really 4 or 5 years. Since Chris Paul, we've had just an old team. This is a team that was second oldest in the league last year and now is 7th youngest. So back-to-backs aren't something I necessarily worry about. In fact, I embrace them because it's going to be an opportunity for the Phoenix Suns and their young players to continue rhythm night over night, and they have the athletic ability and capacity to do so.
Yeah, and even after the season's over, we're not going to talk about those grueling back-to-backs. I don't think we ever really do, right? I feel like in the time we're like, this kind of sucks. Sometimes, watching the games or going to the games back-to-back maybe would be sucky maybe for some media guys out there. Maybe that would suck too, just because it's back-to-back and it's late nights and all that stuff. But other than that, the players, we kind of forget on their end that they played the back-to-backs when the games were over or when the season's over. And plus, like when the season's over, those back-to-backs, when you look at it, might have helped, like you said, the Suns because they are young, but also because when you're young, you can maybe play better on the second game back-to-back. Like EJ always says too, like he's just like, I always have my best games the second game on a back-to-back. And I kind of feel like that has to get out of the mindset of the Suns team moving forward, because there can't be a whole lot of complaining on this team just because there's so much on their shoulders already and a lot to prove on a lot of these players. So I don't feel like we're going to be complaining too much about the back-to-backs because we don't have the old guys on the team anymore, like Kevin Durant or Bradley Beal. We have to worry about those guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of out the window now, which is kind of nice.
I'm okay, and again, I'm intrigued, and I'm excited to see it. Like I'm all for it. Excited. There are some other scheduling quirks within the Suns schedule that are of note going into 2025, 2026. Their longest homestand is 5 games that occur between January 25th to February 1st. Their longest road trip is right before that. It's 6 games from the 13th of January to the 23rd of January. We mentioned the 16 total back-to-backs. They have 7 back-to-backs with different time zones. So that's not like I play the Clippers, I play the Lakers on back-to-back nights, or I play the Knicks and I play the Sixers. I play the Knicks and then I play the Bulls, or I'm playing the Dallas Mavericks and then I'm playing the Lakers, right? So that's just an interesting thing because there's that aspect of time. Longest stretch without 2 consecutive days off, they go 25 days from the day after Christmas, the 26th, to January 20th, where they'll just either have a game every night or every other night. So just circle that one on your calendar, Matthew, because we'll be grinding right then. And then, of course, there's the fact that they only have 8 total national games. Mm-hmm. All right, so they're going to end up playing 5 on NBC, 3 on Peacock, and then 1 on ESPN. And so that brings me to the question, does the light national TV presence say more about the Suns or about the NBA's broadcast priorities as they move into this new non-TNT world with the NBC partnership?
Yeah, it's both. They kind of want to put the teams on there that are championship hungry. Right now, the Suns are not that team. So you kind of take the top 4, top 5 of each conference. And especially out in the West, you have like 8 teams out there that you can play above the Suns every night on primetime if you want and have good competition, great games out there with stars on the floor. Right now, the Suns just had the 1 star in Devin Booker. A lot of people that don't consider a star, right, or a superstar. So that's not appealing. That's not sexy to these networks. And that's fine. Because honestly, John, like that's where I want to be. I don't want to worry about these 8:30 games anymore or staying up late because because there's an overtime in the game before. Like I'm done with that. I'm good with, hey, let's start at 7:00, or if we do play later, like 8:00, it's going to start at 8. It's not going to start at 8:45 because of a double overtime.
This is so true. It's funny how circular it is, right? How when you and I started this podcast in 2019. We felt disrespected. We felt the team should get more pub, even though we knew they hadn't earned it to that point. But it would just been nice to get a little bit. Now it's like, you know what? Earn it again. You have to earn it. And when you look at the fact, like the San Antonio Spurs, for example, they have 22 nationally televised games. And again, the Suns have 8. Yeah. Oh, well, so be it. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. I'm going to be watching every game. I don't need to see them on NBC to be satisfied with the product. In fact, I actually prefer it because I don't have to listen to certain commentators have half-assed takes on a team. And I'm like, you don't even know what you're watching, man. Ryan Dunn's the shit, And so I'm not opposed to it. In fact, again, kind of like the back-to-backs, it's not something that really frustrates me. Whereas these are conversations when you and I would do these podcasts over past off seasons, if we felt in any capacity that the Suns were disrespected, like last summer. Yeah. Where, oh man, 16 back-to-backs. Our team's old, man. That fucking sucks. We should have known right then. Like they're gonna finish with 36 wins, man. It's like if they didn't get a Christmas game, we were upset. Now we're like, dude, no Christmas game. Like, it's funny how it goes.
It is weird because you get what you want, and it's like, it's not really what you need in your life. You're like, it's all right. I can do without all this extracurricular stuff. I'd rather be just watching AAA team down in the baseball farm system. You know what I mean?
I'd rather go to the Valley Suns, man.
Yeah, exactly. But
real quick, I want to get a shout out to Dave Yolovitz, always hanging out with us, always supporting the pod, even in these off seasons. $4.99 in the super chat. Thank you, sir. He says Dutch Bros caffeine hit for this new season of Suns Jam Session. Much appreciated,
Dutch
my friend.
Bros,
much appreciated.
right across the street. I'm not a big fan. Are you a fan?
I don't drink coffee.
Yeah, that's a tough one, Dutch Bros. If you do drink coffee, I can't get there.
I've been to Dutch Bros like twice, and they like hang in your car. Well, like, hey man, let me change that podcast for you. I'm like, whoa, bro. I'm like, I'm listening to life advice about women's razors.
Give you a back scratch. But they do the more. I think they do more of the energy drinks though. So that's more of your style.
It is. Right? I have like when Emma used to live with us, we used to get those like Red Bull on crack things, man. Like, oh, those were good. But I try to avoid those. I drink tea now.
Ooh, good luck with that.
It's something.
I can't drink tea.
How come?
It just dries me out, dude. I get really dehydrated from it.
It dries you out.
Yeah, it dehydrates me like crap. So, and I get headaches and all that shit. So I stay away.
I just drink water, really. Like I've been drinking tea, and I'm like, I don't unless it's an energy drink. The caffeine too much, I get a feeling I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another thing I don't like is the fact that I messed up a graphic here. That's supposed to say toughest stretches, and it doesn't. Let's see if I can add this real quick. I can't. I don't think.
Well, the coffee talk comes into fatigue.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, we'll just continue using this one. So toughest stretches. So taking a look at this schedule.
Yeah.
Which do you feel is the bigger challenge? The 6-game road trip in January, the 25-day stretch without 2 consecutive days off, or the fact that the Suns opened the season playing 6 games in 10 nights?
Yeah, that's the one I noted. The 6 games in 10 nights. That was a crucial start for the Suns, especially playing the Clippers, Denver. Utah's not as good. It kind of evens out a little bit because you have the Utahs in there, but also you're playing the Clippers 3 times in like the first 13 games? I'm sorry, I wrote that one down. Is it 13 games?
It's pretty close.
It is. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. Yeah, you kind of get them out of the way. Obviously the Bradley Beal return will be very soon.
Yep, on the 6th of November, Bradley Beal returns.
Yeah. But you know what? I think in March too, if you look down there, they have the 3 back-to-backs in the span of the first 3 weeks in March, and then another back-to-back at the end of the month. Like that seems pretty crucial right there too. That's going to be, I know we have the schedule in January looks pretty hectic. The one in March though, that kind of stands out to me the most, really.
Yeah, for me, I think it's segmented. I honestly think I just want to see those first 10 games because I want to figure out who this Suns team is. Mm-hmm. And yes, the fact that there's the 6-game road trip in January, there's always a 6-game road trip, right? I'm actually okay with that. The 25 games or the 25-day stretch where they don't have consecutive games off. Again, it doesn't really because we don't know who this team's going to be by that point. I just want to see those first 10 games. And for those of you who are listening, we start off on the 22nd of October at home against the Kings. We go on the road for a 3-game stretch against the Clippers, Denver, and then Utah. We come home to play the Memphis Grizzlies. Then we go, I believe it's on the road, but it's an NBA Cup game. Like the 6th game of the season is an NBA Cup game against Utah. And then we're at home for San Antonio, on the road for Golden State, at home for the Clippers. That's Bradley Beal returning on the road against the Clippers. I mean, that stretch to kind of open is really going to show a lot about the Suns. And it's kind of like last year. Last year, we had a lot of games in the first stretch of games that were against the Clippers and the Lakers. And so it was one of those situations where we were playing a Pacific Division rival right off the bat. And it didn't really bother me last year because I thought we would be dominant. And in those first 9 games, when we went 8-1, we were. But after that, and we started to crumble and fall apart, not only did we do so, we did so against interdivision rivals, and it hurt our overall standing in the standings. And in this case, the Suns, we're not going to play the Lakers until the 1st of December, which is kind of nuts, man. I mean, we played the Lakers 3 times before December 1st last year. So that's the at least to me, the toughest stretch, but do you think that grind in January is a blessing in disguise for playoff preparation potentially, or burnout risk?
Not the burnout risk, I don't think. I think the playoff potential, I think, starting off the season too hot, it's kind of scary in a way, just because they're a young team. They might get overly excited, and they might be kind of in over their head at first if they start out like not 8-1, but something that's above 500 in the first 10 games. But then when you get towards January, that's where you kind of solidify yourself as a team. Mm-hmm. That's when other teams can kind of game plan more against you, and that's where a real team shows up. So there's going to be a lot of pressure there. But that's the most exciting part about this, is I feel like these guys that need to step up and prove stuff, they're going to face a really tough schedule, but tough competition too in January. And it's going to be a lot of team bonding, especially with that road trip. And that's what we always talk about during the season on the post-game podcast. Like maybe this team just needs that 6-game road trip. Like I can see that happening if things are kind of going downhill. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, to see where they're at in that point of the season.
I've talked about how the Suns, I feel, should strategically attack next year. They should break it up in thirds, right? So the first third is literally just out there. You're setting your identity, your culture, a lot of Dylan Brooks and Ryan Dunn and defensive lineups, and seeing what you have with Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Mark Williams, see what that lineup brings. And that takes you to right about January. And then from January to March, or it's like mid-December to mid-February, that stretch until the All-Star break, that's when you start to integrate the rookies more, right? The first couple months, they're sporadically as needed when injuries occur, but they're being utilized in the G League. G League starts early November. Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Brea should be down there getting reps. I don't know if you put Kamon Malawach down there. I want to be opposed to it here and there just to get him reps to understand more of the NBA speed. And then that stretch between mid-December and mid-February is where they start to get sprinkled into the rotation. By mid-February, going into March, you know what your team is, you know what your team isn't, and that last stretch of the season is when you really up the minutes on those young developmental guys. But to your point, last year's January was an easy part of the schedule. That was the easiest part of the schedule. That's where the Suns made up a little bit of ground, but even in that, it's right when they also deteriorated from a relationship standpoint, when Bradley Beal was put to the bench, when Yusuf Nurkic was benched outright completely, and the team structurally and internally fell apart right when they could have come together and ridden the momentum of playing poor teams into playing tough teams. To your point, this January, that stretch it's not so much a make or break the Suns. It's the ideal opportunity for development, because that's when these players should start to see, especially the young rookies, an uptick in minutes. And to your point, there's going to be some tough competition that they're going to be playing in once we hit the new year, 2026. You got OKC on the 4th of January. The next night, it's a back-to-back. They're playing the Rockets, and they got the Grizzlies, the Knicks, Washington's in there, and we'll probably lose that one. Miami, Detroit, the Knicks. I mean, there's just a murderer's row of some really good Eastern Conference teams as a part of that road trip. So it's going to be just a challenging time. And again, I wouldn't say a make or break time. It's a time to really allow iron to sharpen iron, to really see what you have in these rookies, because that's what this season's about, Suns fans. This isn't about going and winning a championship. This is about a bunch of young guys, and as long as you strategically develop them. You don't put Rasheer Fleming out there to play 15 minutes a night on night one, because if his confidence goes, he's fucked, right? You strategically develop these guys, and in January, that's when they start to up their minutes and the iron starts to sharpen iron, and you know what you have. Yeah,
no, it's a big part of the season. It really is.
So we'll see what happens there. And then we did talk a little bit about the travel and the fatigue. The 7 back-to-backs with time zone changes, does that worry you at all?
It really doesn't. Even these stretches we're talking about that look tough, they might not be because it's due to injury. So it's kind of like you got to take everything with a grain of salt, really, especially with the Clippers early on. It might be like buy one, get one free at the strip clubs late October, early November. So who knows if any of those guys are going to be playing or on their best note. So I just, I can't look too seriously into this, just for the fact that when the games come up and it's back-to-back, it looks tough. We always, on the Suns Chances podcast for the last 5 years, we've always just were like, they're going to win. They end up losing. They're going to lose. They end up winning. Like, we can just never tell how this team's going to really produce in those situations. But what would be nice, though, because we do have this 16 back-to-back games, is this team is excelling at the right time in January, but just early on in the season, and just handling those in a professional manner, to where they do take the game seriously, to where they're prepared for those games on the flight back, if it's to Brooklyn or the flight back home for the next game at home. So if they can kind of do that, man, like these games and these back-to-backs won't look as bad as they do right now.
Yeah, and again, it's right now. We don't know how we're going to feel when those back-to-backs are occurring. If they're on a 7-game losing streak, it's like, geez, just start to play well. But again, I don't know if it's necessarily about the result this year. It's more about how they play. And it's one of the reasons why, when we talk about one of our new partners in FanDuel, the new partnership with FanDuel, the over-under is 31.5. Do you think that 31.5 is something? Would you bet the over or the under on that? Just straight up.
I'm betting the over. I definitely am. I think it's going to be over. I think this team right now, especially as we get closer to the season, who knows if there's going to be a trade for Trae Young? Who knows? Maybe that will go up a little bit on FanDuel, but there's going to be some interesting changes if there is a trade. But right now, I think a lot of people are betting the over just because it's so low, and they know that this team right now just has, that kind of bite to them that they want to prove everyone wrong. So I don't think you can bet against that on FanDuel.
The team only won 36 games last year, and they had Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. So it's easy to understand why 31.5 is kind of the number. I honestly don't know what to do. I think it's like the perfect line, because if you had asked me before any line was released what you think the Suns line should be, I'd say probably like 32, 33 games, because we forget how hard it is to win in the NBA. My biggest fear with this team is not necessarily can they score, but can they score with 5 minutes left in the game? When the game slows down and Devin Booker has the ball in his hands, or it's Jalen Green, are we confident? Are they confident that they can execute enough possessions in a row to put away teams if they're up, or to come back if they're down? And it's going to come down to defense, in my opinion. Their playmaking ability on offense, and can they shut down opposing teams? If you were to ask me right now, cold turkey, would I bet the over or the under? I would probably bet the under. I think that this team has, from a roster construction standpoint, there's just a lot of holes. And it's just so funny that, 2 seasons ago, we were having the same debate on 52 wins, and now it's like 31. It just goes to show you the cyclical nature of the NBA. When you look at other aspects of the schedule, there are some short span opponent matchups that kind of stand out. Like you mentioned, the Clippers twice in 3 days and 3 times in the first 13. Utah twice in 4 games. Golden State's 2-2 stretch. Which one of these matchups is most intriguing to you?
I really think the Clippers won. And it's not just a Bradley Beal thing, but it's kind of like, where are the Clippers at heading into the season? Because there's a lot of pressure on that team too. So if you're starting out playing 3 games against them so early, it's going to be one of those things where you're watching the Suns on one side and the Clippers on the other side, which are going to totally different paths right now in the NBA, right? Championship, the Suns are rebuild, basically a mini rebuild, whatever you call this. So,
Retool.
I mean, there can be a few, storylines out there for both the teams. I think right now with the Clippers, they're going to be favorites to win the championship, and the Suns going to come out and maybe take 2 out of the first 3, and they can stun a few people here or there. So that's one thing to look forward to. I think that's the most intriguing part of this schedule, because it's early on, and you get a good look at what the Suns are going to kind of look like. Like you said, the rookies, probably not a whole lot of time, but they have that base there, that they have those hungry guys where they play a team that's a championship caliber early in the season and prove themselves. Like, that's going to be huge for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. What because it's those Clipper games, again, Pacific Division rivals, so much shared DNA. You know, they got Bradley Beal, who now wears number 0 because that's the amount of
coming off the bench
about
too,
him.
right? Coming off the bench.
Who knows? In theory, yes.
He wants a ring because they're taking it seriously, I guess.
Yeah.
Over there. Yeah, I guess.
CP3, is back in LA.
Yeah.
I guess, is that, in your opinion, like, is that a statement game of the regular season? What is the statement game of the regular season? Is it the Suns against the Clippers early? Is it something later? Or I know personally I'd go early because we don't know what they're going to be later.
Yeah, you know what? It's a statement game for, I think, Devin Booker. I think he takes a lot of heat right now this season just because those guys left. Obviously, we had to trade KD for assets, and Bradley Beal, there's just no way of him coming back. But it's just to show that he was the man the whole time. And if he can get victories against those guys, no matter how they win, if he's just a true leader, he just has 12 assists and maybe 15 points, or goes out and scores 30+ in both games or 3 games, and gets the victory 2 out of 3 times, then I think he kind of solidifies himself as like, hey, I was the dude the whole time. We fucked this up. Behind the scenes, no one would share the ball. And I can just tell you, like, I can be the point book, even though they're talking about Jalen Green being the guy. I think Booker has a chance to really just solidify himself as the guy in Phoenix, and maybe back to a top 15 guy in the NBA early on in the season with those games.
Yeah, it comes down to Devin Booker. And I think that is the right answer. I don't know which Clippers game. I mean, I'm going to look at the schedule real quick. I think only one of them is on national TV, right? There's ESPN, one on ESPN.
Yeah.
Right? And so that is kind of the signature opportunity for the Suns, who at that point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's their 10th game of the season. So they play them 3 out of the first 10 games. That's nutty. And that's an opportunity to have kind of an early statement win. And the way you have to look at the schedule, in my opinion, is the way you look at like a football schedule, right? Now, teams used to have 16 games. Now they have 17. But you would take it in quarters. You'd be like, all right, first 4 games, next 4 games. I want to win the first quarter, the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. That's how you have to look at the Suns' schedule. And it's one way that I might break it down at Brightside, like I did years ago when I first started writing for Brightside. That's literally what I did, is I broke the season down into like 8 game segments and said, okay, the focus is these 8 games. What can your record be? If you can come out 5-3 above 500, you do that enough times in a row, just like baseball series. If you go 2 out of 3 enough times in a row, you're going to have a winning record. And that's how we're going to have to absorb this team, is who are they for this 10-game stretch? Who are they for this 10-game stretch? Because they should be different teams. They should be a team that's growing and developing throughout this season. And that's what our hope is for the Phoenix Suns this year. That's what we have to focus in on, not having an expectation of winning a championship, but just playing competitive basketball, man.
Yeah, and plus the fans too, they had to grow that confidence back to be a Suns fan, And Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal coming back, I think they both get booed, right?
That's a good question.
I think they do. I think Kevin Durant gets booed the whole game because he doesn't want to.
No, he won't. He won't.
Phoenix
fans don't have him down. Phoenix fans aren't that passionate, man. You might have one guy in your section who will boo him the whole time, but the whole section won't. Phoenix,
I don't know.
Respectively, Phoenix as a fan base, man, we're very lackadaisical. We're very lackadaisical. You know, you think of baseball and like the St. Louis Cardinals, right? Their fan base is known for being very astute, and their observations and respect for opposing teams, for things that are occurring, they're very in tune with everything that's going on in the game. Go to a Diamondbacks game, man. Everyone's on their fucking phone the whole time. You know? Yes, Gavin, take a wide receiver next. I'd have to look at the list. I feel the same with Suns fans. I feel like Suns fans, and this is where I want us to be a better fan base, because we are a passionate, rabid fan base when we're winning. But when we're not winning, we're very lackadaisical. And yes, there might be some boos when he is announced, right? And Beal, I think, will get some boos too, but I don't think people will boo him as much, because I feel like there's a big part of the fan base that, like, it's like a family. It's like a dad goes along, he's passionate, he's there with his like 2 kids. Or his wife and 2 kids. And like the wife doesn't care. She's on the phone. The kids kind of care, but they're not loud. And I feel like that's just kind of encapsulation of the entire fan base. I mean, you've been in there. There's a reason why they pipe in defense as loud as they do. It's because the crowd can't consistently or chant that or know when they should be chanting it.
Yeah, I think that was the players in the court's fault, though. Now that we are playing against Kevin Durant and we have a guy like Dylan Brooks and guys that are defensively minded, I think it's be more tense. I'm not going to say they're going to chant defense, because honestly, the defense chant just needs to go away. I fucking hate it. I think
I do too.
It doesn't do shit. It doesn't do anything to these players, and just get rid of it because it is really loud. But I think when you're watching these players now on the Suns side, they're going to be a lot of rooting, and they're going to understand this team in a way where they're going to kind of come back. They got to prove themselves and stuff like that. I already said that 10 times. But also on the other end, these guys that are coming back that were there last year that let us down completely, the worst season I've ever witnessed. Yeah. I think they are going to remember that just for the first game or the first season. After that, I don't think they'll care. But I think just the first game with these guys back in the arena, they're going to let them have it. So,
well, the fan base will take on the personality of the team. I think that's a better way to put it. Because when you have a team that's kind of mailing it in, so did the fan base. Because we're like, oh, shit, here we go again.
And they booed all the time, though. Remember last season? They booed in like the second quarter almost every game.
No, see, I didn't experience it that much.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there were games where I was up on press row talking with the guys, and we were jokingly having bets like, okay, how long until they go down by 20?
Yeah. You know, towards the end of the season, though, they kind of gave up on the team.
Yeah.
But, you know, when we kind of
I went to a lot of games.
The season was slipping away. It was like, all right, they're letting them have it. But by the time it was gone and we knew it was over, no playoffs.
So let me ask this. Yeah. Should they boo KD and Beal?
You know what? I say yes. I know a lot of people don't like that, including my girlfriend Nicole and her son do not like that booing the players. But I think it's part of it.
As long as you're not malicious, we cheer them.
Exactly, because especially
you're not allowed to make them feel anything ever.
Well, they have to kind of deal with it. It's going to happen one way or the other, and it's nothing that's really real hate. But it's just like, hey, letting you know that you guys fucked us over. So I think it's allowed.
Yeah, I think it's allowed. I think that
Booker would like it. Booker's going to feed off of that.
Booker would feed off.
And we go out 14 with a breakaway dunk. Oh,
yes. Do it for Book.
That's giving me chills right now.
Do it for Book. Do it for Book. All right, last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here. And one thing I am going to do is my wife bought me this like NBA Ballers Series 2 Surprise 5. They're like little figurines or something.
Yeah.
So we'll pop this open at the end. Maybe we'll get a Booker in here. If I get like a Kevin Durant and 2 Beals, I'm booing them.
One in the Suns.
I want to talk holidays.
Okay.
So Thanksgiving, we're not playing. No one ever plays on Thanksgiving. Christmas, we're not playing. We're playing on New Year's Eve, but not New Year's. I feel like the past 2 or 3 seasons, not only have we played on New Year's Eve, we played on New Year's Day as well.
Yeah, I remember New Year's Day, and I don't like that. I like New Year's Eve is fine because it's early and it's over,
early,
and you can still celebrate. You're going to be up late anyways.
Yes. But we play the Cavs on New Year's Eve. What day is Martin Luther King Day next year?
The 19th.
Is it?
Yeah, looks like it's that Monday. Yeah.
We play Brooklyn on that day, at Brooklyn. We don't play on St. Patty's Day. We play the Celtics the day before St. Patty's Day on NBC. So that's kind of touchy. What other holiday? Like, we're not playing on any major holidays. Oh, Valentine's Day. Let's see. No Valentine's Day game. Oh, no, finally.
This is awesome.
Finally.
I feel like they've had one on Valentine's Day.
Dude, like the past 4 years. You know, I feel so bad. And my wife's like, hey, it's Valentine's Day. I'm like, hold on, honey. I got to do a pod. Yeah. So thankfully we don't have to deal with that because I love the Suns, but I don't love them that much. I love my wife much more. So I like all that. Is there anything else about the season when you look at the schedule in its totality that kind of pops out to you? You're like, oh, hey, that's sweet. We're playing on my birthday. Are they playing on your birthday this year?
No, not on my birthday. And then the due date for my child is the 12th, January 12th. So they're not playing that day either. So come on out, podcast the next day.
Do you know my little brother, who's born the same year as you, has a baby due on Valentine's Day?
Really?
Charlie's. Year? What's that?
This coming year?
Charlie just told us that he's pregnant.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, everyone's like, all the 1989 kids are popping kids out.
So the only last thing is the Emirates Cup and how I just don't give a fuck. Are we just still there?
I'm 100%.
All the money they're making. I don't
for those who don't know, the NBA Emirates Cup, whatever it's called, we play the Jazz, we play the Timberwolves, and then we play the Kings and OKC. Cool, whatever.
Yeah, I don't give a shit, man. They should just donate that money to the workers at Nike, the factories, the ones that don't want to live anymore. Give them that money.
Well,
for all those fucking shoes they make.
Yeah, no shit. We'll see how I feel as the season progresses, because it could be one of those situations where the Suns might be the only thing they do this year that's relevant.
I know, but after it happens, like no one, like the day after, it happens with the championship. That happens with the NBA championship. You win, and no one gives a fuck the next day or the next minute.
Well, especially this past year, because literally the next day, they're like, and it's time for the draft. We're like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Yep. They didn't give you any time, and plus, it was the Thunder, and everyone wanted the Pacers to win. So
yeah, very true. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before I pop open these surprise thingies?
I think I'm good, man.
All right.
Can't wait for that season.
For those listening, again, you can buy these at Costco. My wife picked this up. They're these little. I don't even know what they are.
Wait, really quick in the chat. Sam's Club or Costco? You guys can just go ahead and
just talk amongst yourselves. Which you like better? All right. So again, let's see what these things are. So they come in these little balls. It appears. And they're not really little, but it's a surprise player. Collect 45 of them. It looks like they're little basketballs. This is really great TV. Let's see what happens when you open one of these things.
This bad boy.
It's one of those things just impossible to open. That's cool. Love that.
You should just give up. Just end the pod. Just don't even open it.
Tune in next time. Next time we pod.
I'll have them behind me on the shelf. Yeah.
All right, so I've gotten to this point. It looks like, was that a Pokeball?
Can I guess who it's going to be?
Go for it.
All right, it's going to be Paul George.
That would suck ass. All right, I'm trying to open this fucker. Oh, they didn't tell you that it takes forever to open them. All right, here we go. We're popping the first one. Now it's in a bag. Oh, it smells something.
Smells like farts.
Okay, it is. Who did I get? It is Lakers Shaq.
Oh, that's really cool. Is it Lakers, a bobblehead?
It's no, you can kind of move it. It's actually
okay.
Cool.
That is
cool. It has a secondary thing, which I assume is a stand.
Okay.
For them to go on.
That's cool.
It's part of a court, and it comes with like a sticker, a Lakers sticker. So
I like that.
Right.
How much was that? $20?
I have no idea. My wife sent me a picture of it today and said, "Hey, I got this for you at Costco. Check it out." All right. I should have brought
That's actually a cool first one, man. Yeah. Would you rather have a Kobe or a Shaq? I would rather have a Shaq.
I'd probably have a Shaq.
I don't know.
All right. Let's see. No one has responded to Costco or Sam's Club.
No, everyone's watching on Twitter, so
no one's watching.
No one does what I asked. Yeah. We'll see responses in the comments.
No one listens to me. All right. I really should have brought a X-Acto knife or something.
How many you got? 4 total?
I think it's 4 of them.
Okay.
So here we go. Number 2. Any guesses on number 2?
I'm gonna guess Detlef Shrimp or Gary Payton.
It has modern players too. It's like because on the cover it's Shaq and Victor Wembanyama. All right, the second one, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Wow, MVP, huh?
Yeah, I got a couple of MVPs here.
Nice.
Look at these little dudes. All right. Where's the Booker?
Oh, we got to get this one right. I'm going to guess Karl Malone.
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone.
That's 2 of these. Oh, this thing is pretty sick. It comes with like a little basket and everything.
That is cool. So it's like a whole setup. Like they can be around a basket. Just looking.
Yeah, I can have them like play. This would be cool for like Eric. Oh man.
You think it's more valuable to leave in the eggs?
Oh, without a doubt, everything
40
is.
years from now?
Yeah, 40 years from now. Although it's Costco, so it's like it's oversaturated the market. That's like my new favorite thing is to buy PSA cards.
PSA, what's that?
PSA, like graded cards. You know what those are?
Mm-mm.
Here, hold on one second.
Oh, Suns 33, Costco. All right, we got one for Costco.
All right, I'm a Costco person. I've never stood inside of a Sam's Club in my life. All right, here we go. Next one. I'm creating a mess in here, bro.
Jimmy Butler.
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray?
I better get Booker. I got a Jamal Murray.
Dude, that's so lame, man.
I'm going to put that Jamal Murray right next to my toilet paper, and maybe sometimes I'll accidentally wipe my ass with him.
You better not just mail it to me. Oh, I got a present. It's Jamal Murray.
It's like, oh, you're having a baby? Here, first toy. Yeah, gender reveal parties in next weekend, right?
Yeah, next weekend.
Yeah. Do you know yet? You're not going to know until then?
No, I won't know. We find out Monday, though. Or her daughter does.
Oh, yeah, because she's the one who's doing everything.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's going to be
five big booms. Is that the boom guy from Costco?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
All right, here we go. Last one. One.
Tiger Woods.
Victor Wembanyama.
Oh, okay. I was going to guess him, but I'm like.
All right, so I got Shaq, Jamal Murray, SGA, Victor Wembanyama. I'm going to show you a PSA card real quick.
Okay. I'm going to sit here just like this.
All right, so my new favorite thing to do is like it's a Ricky Henderson PSA graded card. That's an 8.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Connie Hawkins PSA 6. That's a 1971 tops.
Okay.
Yeah, these are cool. They're like
where do you get them from? Just Amazon?
eBay.
Oh, eBay. So you bid on them?
You can do buy nows or bids. But I buy nows on those, but I do bids too.
Oh, I'm back.
Yeah, there you are. And there you go, Jamsters.
What a great ending to the pod.
There you go.
That
Hope
is
you
cool.
enjoyed seeing us. It's been a while.
Send out a pic on Twitter about how you set them up, and I want to see what they look like together.
They're all going to be in the trash.
Are they going to be in a bathhouse? Okay.
Oh, are you excited for the Cowboys doc?
I am, yeah.
It's like Last Dance, but for the Cowboys, man.
Yeah, but you know
That's
what?
like
when I first heard about it, I was like, I've seen so much '90s Cowboys stuff. Like I used to watch that stuff all the time. I'm like, what else? But obviously, they have this stuff with like the White House, or whatever they're talking about. We'll see. I'm excited to watch it. We're gonna watch it. I think it starts Tuesday, so I'm gonna see what that's.
Is it?
I've been watching the WWE. That you ever seen the WWE like behind the scenes stuff they got going on?
I saw the show. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I watched it. I really liked it. I'm like, dang, am I getting sucked back in? Are those all of them right there?
Yeah, they don't even offer Devin Booker.
He's not. There's no Suns.
I'm not seeing one. Jimmy
Butler.
Butler.
They have Sean Marion or Steve Nash.
Jalen Brunson. Alex Caruso has one. Damian Lillard. Benny the Bull. The Raptor. The fucking Raptor. no Devin Booker. That's a crime. That's a crime.
That is a crime.
All right, Jamsters. Thanks for hanging out with us. We truly appreciate it. We'll go live again someday. But until then, Matthew, tell them what to do.
Go Lord family, everybody.
Hey, you're listening to the Suns Jam Session podcast, shooting the shit about the Suns since 2019.